Hello, and welcome to AWS Review, a weekly look at what's happening at AWS and how it may change how you do business. I'm your host, Michael Krause. I am the Chief Technology Officer at Charter Solutions, where we help organizations change and innovate quickly by accelerating their acquisition and use of data. So, today, for people who have been following this live stream, John, my co host, was unable to make it. So, I'm going to be winging this one on my own. So, please bear with me. There'll probably be little witty banter, but we have an interesting topic today. So, last week we started down the path of AI and ML on AWS, and we looked at pre built services that AWS has. Today, we're going to take the next step and talk about what resources are available on AWS with regard to learning, machine language, AI, that type of stuff, and how to do it on AWS. So I hope this will be a good session, and I hope everybody enjoys it. So to start off, let's dive into updates, what's happened in the last week. So there are a few little things that have occurred. First of all, AWS Global Accelerator. For people who are unfamiliar with it, it provides two static kind of global IP addresses as a fixed entry point into your application. And what that allows you to do is make changes and updates to your application without changing any of the facing IP addresses. And Global Accelerator will automatically kind of route traffic to kind of healthy available endpoints inside AWS. And starting today, you now can route IP version 6 traffic as well as IP version 4 through the Global Accelerator. Another item new for Amazon GuardDuty, malware protection on on Amazon EBS volumes. So GuardDuty, which can monitor your accounts and workloads for malicious activity, now can detect malware on EBS volumes. So when this is enabled, a malware scan is initiated whenever GuardDuty detects that one of your EC2 instances or container workloads running on EC2 is doing something suspicious. And the final update for today is Amazon Detective is now supporting Kubernetes workloads on Amazon EKS for security investigations. So if you are running EKS services and you've been looking to leverage Amazon Detective, it is now available. So let's go ahead and move on to our topic for the day. And before we dive in, I just want to remind everybody that chat is available on both LinkedIn and YouTube. If you are watching on either of those platforms live, feel free to add comments into the chat and we will watch that and see if we can answer some questions for you live. So let's talk a little bit about AI and ML learning enablement with AWS. So, AWS provides a lot of tools, which we're going to be going into over the next few weeks, with regard to enabling artificial intelligence, machine learning um, for customers who want to pursue those items to help enhance their business. To help you get started, AWS has also provided a number of tools and enablement mechanisms to get you kind of over the initial hump of, what is it? How do I work with it? But then provide some depth on how to make some very interesting things happen. So the first item of interest that is here, and this is kind of a standard type item you would typically find, which is digital courses. So AWS provides a number of digital courses on AI and ML. Specifically, I'm using AWS tools for that. They've got ML courses by AWS experts to kind of get you started on machine learning. If you're a beginner looking for kind of a really nice starting point, either to build a career or just build your capabilities, this is a good place to start. They're on-demand courses, so you can watch them at your leisure and pursue them as quickly or as slowly as you want. And they have learning plans that can help you prep for the specialty certification on AI and machine learning, if that's something that you would like to pursue. Additionally, if this is of interest to you, let me bring this thing up. They have a ramp up guide, and that ramp up guide is a simple PDF. The um, The link is on the screen. I'll also add it to the show notes. And what it does is provides you with kind of how to kind of get yourself rolling. So getting, if you don't understand AWS Cloud in general, there's the cloud practitioner piece to help you get familiar with AWS. But then they start going into fundamentals of machine learning, fundamentals of data engineering, data science on AWS. Oops, scrolled a little too fast there. Learning ML engineering on AWS, um, building apps, and eventually getting down if you want to certify into the certification stuff. And in addition, they have a number of resources: white papers, learning library, user groups, events, all kinds of interesting things. So this is a really good piece of reference material. Definitely worth pursuing, definitely worth reading. And if ML is something that you're interested in, this can provide guidance on how to get you moving. So let's move on to another item that's available is the Machine Learning University. So it provides anybody anywhere um, access to the same machine learning courses that are used to train AWS's and Amazon's own developers. So they can learn how to use machine learning with Learn at Your Own Pace. So it's similar to the other courses, but they're designed to kind of really get you going with NLP, tabular data management, computer vision, all of these interesting things. Um, there are sets of YouTube videos that walk you through hands-on practical examples with Jupyter notebooks, slide decks, all kinds of interesting things, and all the course materials are available on GitHub. So again, this is something you can definitely dig into, and if you're interested in it, you can go to the AWS ML Learning link. Again, that's on the screen right now, and we'll be happy to put that in the show notes as well. And that will provide you access links to this Machine Learning University information. In addition to these items, there are a number of kind of mechanisms to learn from the experts out there. This isn't structured learning kind of like the digital classes are. It's a little less structured. It's community driven, and it can be a lot of fun, a lot of deep dives into specific situations, things like that. So there is a AWS ML community that has a very vibrant community of developers and data scientists and researchers, and they contribute and collaborate on projects together. So you can go out and check out that community again. Go to the main learning page, and you can follow links to that. Additionally, there is a Twitch series, a streamed Twitch series called SageMaker Fridays that you can subscribe to and listen in on. There's also the AWS Power Hour Machine Learning with hosts John Dion and Kristen Dupont. They'll have special guests on, demonstrate how to build certain things, etc. And then there's all kinds of tech talks and presentations that are led by AWS engineers. And then obviously, the ML AI tracks at all the conferences like the summits and the and reInvent itself. But now we come to what I consider some of the really fun stuff. All of that is stuff we're used to. We're used to going to classes. We're used to taking classes online. Used to, looking up how-tos on YouTube. But they've also developed over the years a number of hands-on learning mechanisms. So the first one I want to talk about is AWS Deep Lens. So AWS Deep Lens is a deep learning enabled video camera specifically for developers. So it helps put machine learning in the hands of developers with a fully programmable video camera, tutorials, code, pre-trained modules, etc. And the idea here is to get you started with computer vision and ML AI enabled computer vision. So if you want to learn about object recognition, if you want to learn, how to do some really fun, interesting stuff with imagery and ML, AWS Deep Lens provides you a mechanism to do that. So on their website, the Deep Lens website, they list some sample projects. A few of them I found interesting. One is the hot dog, not hot dog classification. So you can use Deep Lens to look at food and categorize whether that food is a hot dog or not a hot dog. So cute, simple, but it's a way to go in and actually learn how do you do image recognition and image processing using learning. Another one that's a little maybe more specific rather than just hot dog or not hot dog is bird classification. So that example project, you can detect up to 200 different species of birds through the camera. So get the picture of the bird, it'll tell you what the species is. And then the last one I want to bring up, and there are many more that you can go and look at and play with, is activity recognition. So rather than looking at a static picture and saying, what is that? Now we're looking at actions that are happening. So we're talking video type situations. So um, right now, the current sample project supports, I think it's up to about 30 different actions that can be recognized, such as brushing your teeth, applying lipstick, playing guitar. Kind of stepping beyond the image recognition to activity, movement, things like that. Towards intent. What am I trying to do here? So that's Deep Lens. So if you're excited and interested in video processing and image processing with machine learning, Deep Lens is a tool that will help you go that direction. Another tool, if you're more musically inclined, is AWS Deep Composer. So Deep Composer gives the developers a very creative way to get started with machine learning, literally using a musical keyboard. So what you do is you can purchase this MIDI compatible AWS Deep Composer keyboard, and you can compose melodies as input for your ML generated compositions. So in simplest example, you generate a melody on the keyboard and then you tweak the ML model to take that melody and create an entire composition from it. You can also export the MIDI files and pull them into your favorite digital audio workstation or DAW if you want to play with that. They also have a mechanism to upload those. I believe it's SoundCloud, but don't quote me on that. Where you can share with others what you've been able to create with Deep Composer. So that's a fun one for people who are musically inclined and want to see what you can do with music leveraging machine learning. And the last one, and probably the most well known, is AWS Deep Racer. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with AWS Deep Racer is basically a machine learning based racing mechanism. So you buy a Deep Racer car, which is a 1/18th scale race car, and it's driven by reinforced learning. So you work with it to teach it how to recognize the track, how to recognize curves coming up on the track, how to manage and adjust speed through different portions of the track. And then you get to compete. So if you're a little more competitive and that is a driver for you, you're very goal oriented, very competitive, this is an interesting one because they've got leagues, they've got local races, they've got special programs for students, they've got scholarships around it, and then they run regional events. I believe they also have a major Deep Racer kind of championship event that they run. It might even be at reInvent. So if this is an area, like I said, if you're competitive, you're interested in learning more about kind of deep learning and reinforcement learning, uh, Amazon or AWS Deep Racer is an interesting approach to do that. A lot of fun. I've watched it. I haven't participated yet. I'm interested, but I've watched a number of them live and on video, and they are a blast to watch. What these people have been able to teach these cars to do is a lot of fun. So, last kind of section, and I apologize for this being a shorter one. Without John here, we don't have as much conversation. I feel like I'm just presenting. So the last area is kind of stepping away a little bit from the individual learnings and more looking at what does AI and ML do for your business? How can you learn more about how you can change your business with AI and ML? So there is a ML for Business Resources page out on under the learning page out there. And in there are ebooks, analyst reports from multiple different analysts. all kinds of information to kind of help you understand what's happening in the market, what other companies are doing, where the analysts see things are going, to help you kind of plan out how could this positively add value to your business. They also have a program called Machine Learning Embark. And what this is an immersive enablement program that helps companies jumpstart their ML journey. So it combines training, coaching, implementation support, specifically to upskill kind of the teams on ML and accelerate improved business outcomes. Definitely something to check out with the AWS team if you are interested in shifting to AWS based machine learning. And then there is a course out there specifically on machine learning for business challenges that is available electronically as well. So feel free to check that out. And I think that's pretty much it for today. Sorry, this is kind of a whirlwind episode, a little less banter, a little more content dense information. But that's all we've got for you today. Thank you again for joining us. We hope you did learn something new today. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, and also check out the podcast, which is available on all the major podcast platforms. And next week, we are going to be digging into the process of machine learning on AWS. So, how do you go about from beginning to end, building a model, prepping the data, and eventually rolling something out into production? So, we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much.